no, I'm not. Joshua said, yes, he is.
He just didn't know he was.
He did not know. All he knew, he had a job to do. He knew that he was from birth commanded to do that job, so he did it. So, does that help you any on any of that?
Some, but I'm still thinking, now, when he was talking about there, it said, and was the wicked one come up out of the bottomless pit. Okay, now is that when he's actually been locked in the pit? He's gonna be locked up.
I think it talked about that. He was originally come out of the pit.
You remember the critters are supposed to come up out of that pit? They look like they got hair like lions, and they got bodies like horses, and they got teeth.
Well, that's not the bottomless pit, though.
Yeah, it is.
Verse chapter 12, is it?
There it is, chapter 9. Fifth angel sounded. I saw a star fall from heaven to the earth, and to him was given the key of the
Yeah, oh,
bottomless
it
pit.
is. Yeah, it is.
And he opened up that bottomless pit, and there rose up a smoke from out of that pit like the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke from the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. To them was given power like the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, nor any green thing, nor any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of Elohim in their foreheads.
What's that seal?
Evidently, it's his name.
Absolutely.
And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that those men should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when he strikes a man. And in those days, men are going to seek death and not going to find it. And they're going to desire to die, and death is going to flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like horses prepared to battle. And on their heads there were what looked like crowns, like gold. And their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like the hair of women. Their teeth were like the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates that looked like breastplates of iron. And the sound, the noise of their wings was like the noise of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them who is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollyon. So there's destroyer and destruction. Greek and Hebrew, Hebrew, Greek.
All right, so, but he's talking about what's going on here in chapter 11, when it says that, listen. Yeah, and they shall have finished their testimony, and the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them. So this beast originally come from their same place. I don't know, the bottomless pit is, my own opinion, I think it's outer space. You know,
Well,
That
It's
is a
also-
bottomless pit.
later on, he's gonna be put back in the pit, locked up, right?
Different pit.
Yeah,
Different pit.
I believe so.
And that's gonna be there, gonna be called the 1,000 years of peace.
chapter 20. The bottomless pit, don't show us a different one.
Right, okay.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven having a key to the bottomless pit.
Right.
Had a great chain in his hand. And laid hold of that dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed for a season. So,
Yep, the same pit, isn't it?
you know, the funniest thing about this, sometimes you wonder if Hollywood does, you get some things from Yah.
Some things right.
Superman, anybody ever watch the Superman movies?
Yeah,
Long time ago.
I've seen them all.
And one of them that I watched, where the bad guy, I can't think of who he was, anyhow, he was cast out into space.
God,
Huh?
God,
You remember that when he was cast out into space?
yeah,
Locked, he was not allowed to come back to the earth for a certain time.
him and two others. Wait, what? He was
Right.
cast out from, not from the earth.
From their planet.
Yeah,
Wherever it was.
Krypton.
Anyhow, he was cast out into space. And I thought at the time I saw that movie, it had been years ago, I thought about that. I just wonder sometime if they don't get some understanding of things. Anyhow, it's amazing.
Yeah, they were put in a different dimension. They were locked into a different dimension. They couldn't break the seal that was on them. So after he's there for 1,000 years, he's gonna be turned loose for a short season.
And he will go and deceive the nations again. See, all these nations for 1,000 years are going to be held in check. They will be
Under the rod of iron.
under the rod of iron. Thank you. And for 1,000 years, they're going to be held that way. But then, once he gets loose, he's going to go out and deceive them again.
When the 1,000 years are expired, Satan is going to be loosed from out of his prison and is going to go out to deceive the nations that are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to do battle, and the number of whom is like the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and they encircled the camp of the pure of the holy ones all around, and the beloved city of fire that came down from Elohim from out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
All right.
That's Revelation 20, starting
Okay.
at verse 7.
You know,
We're trying to concentrate on these two witnesses.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you all have ever heard the Seventh-day Adventists take on that. Two witnesses, they say, I don't know where they get it, but they say, at least the ones that I have seen, they say that the 144,000 are the two witnesses. And during the tribulation, the 144,000 will travel all over the world witnessing.
Jehovah Witnesses say
No,
Seventh-day
no,
Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist. I guess the witnesses throw me off.
I don't know where they get it, but that's,
I think I've heard some people say that the two witnesses, Old Testament, New Testament.
some people say that. It's awful hard to kill them up with their dead bodies in the street.
Yeah.
The Jehovah Witnesses said that the two witnesses are the two magazines.
Watchtower and the,
Yeah, that's the two witnesses. Dan's dad stood right there and told me that with a straight face. Okay. People have all kinds of ideas. My take on it is that they are the same two that in the heavenly realm stand before on the right and left hand side of the throne. The same two that came to the mount and talked to Yeshua about what was going to happen when he got to Jerusalem. And that's my take on it.
you know, it says that they're gonna lay in the street for 3.5 days before they raise. And I thought, well, that's just because Yeshua raised in 3 days. So if these guys can't raise in 3 days, it'd have to be a little longer.
I guess, I don't know why, but 3.5, I had more like some 3.5 years, you know. But, you have 3.5 years there twice. You've got 42 months and then, well,
So when all this happens, tribulation is gonna be pretty much full going.
I think so. I think they'll be there, but, they're not leaving Jerusalem. They're staying right there.
Seems like all the tribulation is gonna be concentrated against them at that time, though. Not necessarily upon those of us, if there are any of us that are alive and survive and remain to that time, but mostly on the two witnesses.
I don't know.
Because their efforts are concentrated in Jerusalem.
Theirs is.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that, Satan would all be there.
No, I agree, but so if there's persecution going on in the rest of the world, that's just not spoken of here.
But the thing is, the scripture says the dragon will make war with the saints that want to keep, have his names and
Right.
keep his commandments.
But does that happen at the same time as these two witnesses is what we don't.
But that is tribulation.
Maybe right after that.
That is tribulation.
There's a difference between tribulation and persecution.
Really?
Yeah, tribulation is the things that happen on in daily life where there's tribulation. You have hardship, you have hard times, you have labors and stuff like that. Persecution is a whole other show. Persecution is actually chasing you down in order to harm you. That's persecution.
Like what's going on in Australia.
Anybody else have anything on it?
Okay, Don, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Feels like spaghetti.
No, I'm not sure what my first is, I've heard all different. That's as good as the theory as any. I mean, I've heard the New Testament, Old Testament. I never heard that one about the war all over the place. That sounds more like witnesses.
That's what he said.
No, he said the Adventists were.
Oh, which-
And I don't remember hearing that when I was with them. I was with them about a year.
We got this guy on television. Definitely said that. But I'm just telling you what he's preaching, that's what he's teaching. I don't know if that is their official doctrine or not, but that's what he's teaching. And he is Seventh Day Adventist.
Who was it, Doug Batson?
Yes,
That was all that guy.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Jewish too. He said he lived in a cave for a while.
Yes, he did. Said he did. Yeah. I couldn't remember his name, but that's exactly who it is.
I guess I'm trying to get to my mind exactly what's gonna be going on, different steps of tribulation.
Well, maybe you just want to try out for.
Well, I can give you my idea, but I think, I believe that there's going to be sudden destruction, start everything off. And then that Babylon the Great will be destroyed, wherever it is. It's a place. And it will be destroyed, and it also has the saints in it. Because they're commanded to come out. Maybe not part of the destruction, part of their judgments. And it will be destroyed, and once it is destroyed, the whole world is going into a deep depression like it's never been. And I believe that the man then will stand up and say, I've got all the answers. Just exactly, we had a preview of it in the late 30s.